Hello everyone. So now we'll be looking at number based multiplication and division. How do we multiply and how do we divide in the different kinds of number bases that we have? So let's start out with multiplication. Now what we're going to try to do is try to get the basic reasoning behind the idea of multiplication, and we'll do this by considering this example. As you can see, this example is in base 10 as there is no base number there. So how do you go about multiplying these two numbers? As you will know, it's pretty straightforward. So what you do is you write the two numbers down in this format like you already know. Then you multiply by 72. So how do we do it, or how are you familiar with it? So this is the way or the general procedures that I guess you are most familiar with. You say 2 multiplied by 3 gives you 6, you write that down here. 2 multiplied by 7 is 14, you write down the 4 and you carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, then plus 1, 7, you write down the 7. You do for the other guy here, you write 7 times 3 is 21, then you write the 1 down in this next place value and you carry the 2. 7 times 7 is 49 plus 2, 51. You write the 1 down and you carry the 5. 7 times 3 is 21, then plus 5, you have 26. So you write that down. And what do you now do? You now sum up everything. So this 6 comes down here, and you have 4 plus 1 which is equals to 5. You have 7 plus 1 which is equals to 8. Then you bring down this 6 and you bring out this 2. So you have 26,856. But what is the basic reasoning? So now what we want to try to do now is try to generalize this idea of multiplication, so you'll be able to do that irrespective of the base. So I'm going to try to walk through this example again. So now let's write out the question. You have 373 and you're trying to multiply by 72. Now to start with, I would like you to recap that in base 10 we have mentioned that the digits must lie between 0 to 9. No digit must surpass 9. So we start out as follows. We say 2 multiplied by 3 which is 6. So we can write down directly since it's between this range. So we write 6 here. But 2 times 7 is 14. 14 lies way ahead of 9. So what do we do? Like we have done before, we divide rather the number by the base. So we say 14 divided by base which is 10. And what does this give us? 1 remainder 4. As you have been doing, you write the remainder here and you carry the whole number to the next place value. You have 2 times 3 which is 6 plus 1 which is 7. 7 lies between 0 and 9, so you write that out directly. Now we go to the second digit. You have 7 times 3, 21. 21 lies way ahead of 9, so we cannot write it directly. So what do? We divide by the base. So you have 21 divided by 10, and what does this give? 2 remainder 1. So as we do, you write the remainder down and you take the whole number to the next place value, which is here. Now you have 7 times 7, 49 plus 2, 51. 51 is more than 9, so you can't write it down here. So you divide by the base, you have 51 over 10. And what does this give you? 5 remainder 1. You write the whole number, the remainder here, and you take the whole number to the next place value. You have 7 now times 3, 21, then plus 5, which is what? 26. 26 is more than 9, so you can't write it down, so you divide by the base. And what does this give you? It gives you 2 remainder 6. Then you write the remainder and you take the whole number to the next place value, but there is no number down there, so you just bring it down. And what do? You sum. So you bring the 6 down there and you have 4 plus 1, 5. You have 7 plus 1, 8. Then you have 6. Then you have 2. So you are left with what? The result is 26,856. So now what we are going to be doing is to generalize this idea and try to multiply numbers in other base system. Now let's look at multiplying this number that is in base 2. So we're given 11101 in base 2 times 111. As I've explained, all numbers in base 2 must lie between 0 and 1. So let's start out. You have 11101 in base 2 multiplied by 111 in base 2. So go about it the usual way. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 0, you have 0. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 1, 1. No number here is more than 1, so we don't have any problem. Go to the next digit. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 0, 0. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 1, 1. And 1 times 1, you have 1. I will do for the last digit. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 0, 0. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 1, 1. And 1 times 1, 1. So what do we do now? Find the sum. Here you have only 1, so you bring it down. Here you have 1 plus 0, which is 1. Here you have 1 plus 1, which is 2. But 2 is greater than 1, so there is no way I can have 2 here. So what do? I divide by the base. So I have 2 divided by 2, which is equals to what? 1 remainder 0. So I write the remainder down and I take the whole number to the next tens. I take it here. So now I have 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. 3 is greater than 1, so I have to divide by the base. So I have 3 divided by 2, and that gives me what? 1 remainder 1. Now you should note that I'm dividing by 2 because this operation is in base 2. So I write the remainder down there and I take the whole number to the next place value here. So I have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 4. I can't write 4 down there because it's greater than 1. So I have to divide by the base. So I have 4 divided by 2, which gives me what? 2 remainder 0. So I write the remainder down here and I take the whole number to the next tens. So I have 2 plus 1 plus 1, which gives me 4. And as you are seeing, 4 can be expressed as 2 remainder 0. So I write down 0 here and I take 2 to the next place value. Now 2 plus 1 is 3. I can see, as you can see, 3 over 2 is 1 remainder 1. So I write down 1 and I take my 1 to the next place value, but there is nothing down here, so I bring it down. So I'm left with this digit 11001011 in base 2. So when you multiply that number, this is your result or your final answer. Now let's try to solve another example in another base. So how do we do this? Let's say in base 5. The idea is really the same thing, so I want you to just concentrate so you can figure it out if you have not. So let's start out. You have 402 in base 5 times 13 in base 5. So we write that out normally. 402 multiplied by 13. Now As you will know by now, when dealing in base 5, digits can only lie between 0 to 4. So we start out 3 times 2 is 6. There is no way I can write 6 here because it's greater than 4 and it will go against the law of base 5. So what do? I divide by what? By the base. So I have 6 divided by, and what is the base I'm working with here? 5. So I divide it by 5 and I get what? 1 remainder 1. So I write down the remainder here and I take the whole number to the next place value. 3 times 0 is 0, then plus 1 is 1. So I can write that pretty straightforward. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 is way greater than 4, so there is no way I can write 12 down there. So what do? I divide by the base. So I have 12 divided by 5. And what does this give me? I have 2 remainder 2. So I write the remainder down there and I take the whole number to the next place, but there is nothing there, so I just bring it down. So I have 2211. So I go to the next digit. I have 1 times 2, pretty straightforward. 2, I can write it down because it's between 0 and 4. 1 times 0 is 0 and 1 times 4 is 4. So what do? I sum these two numbers. So here brings it down. I have 1, 2 plus 1 I have 3, 2 plus 0 I have 2, and 4 plus 2 I have 6. 6 is greater than 4, so I can't write it down. So I divide by the base, and I've done that here before, which is expressed as 1 remainder 1. So I write down the base, the remainder rather, and I take the whole number to the next place value, and since there is nothing here, I just bring it down. So when you multiply these two numbers in base 5, the result is going to be 11231 in base 5. I hope you are beginning to have a strong idea of what it means to multiply in other base. Now let's look at the third example in base 8. So yeah, just hang on and let's get started. So first and foremost, what do? You write out the two numbers in the appropriate format. You have 777 in base 8 and trying to multiply by 33 in base 8. And as you will know by now, numbers in base 8 can only lie between 0 to 7. So we start out. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 lies way ahead of 7. So what do? I divide by the base. And what base am I operating there? I'm operating in base 8. So I have 21 divided by 8, which is same thing as what? To go here 2 times, which is 16. Then the remainder will be 5. So I write down the remainder, which is 5, and I take the whole number to the next place value here. So I have 7 times 3 times 7 again, which gives me 21, plus 2 gives me 23. So I write it out. I have 23 divided by 8, which is equals to 2 remainder 7. So I write the remainder down and I take the whole number to the next place value, which is here 2. So I have 7 times 3, 21, plus 2. I have 23 divided by 8. It still gives me 2 remainder 7. So I write down the remainder and I take the whole number to the next place, but since there is no number, I just drop that down. I do for the other digits, but as you can see, I was multiplying by 3 and now I'm multiplying by 3, so it's virtually going to be the same number. So you are still going to have 5, 7, 7, 2. And at this stage, what do? We just sum it up. So here you have 5, you have 7 plus 2, 12. There's no way I can write 12 down there because it's greater than 7. So I divide by the base. So I have 12 divided by 8, and that gives me 1 remainder 4. So I write the remainder here, and I take the whole number to the next place value. Then I have 7 plus 7 plus 1 gives me 15, which is greater than 7. So I divide by 8, and that gives me what? 1 remainder 7. So I write the remainder down also, and I take the whole number to the next place value. So I have 7 plus 2 plus 1, which is 9, which is greater than 7. So I have to divide again. 9 divided by 8, which gives me what? 1 remainder 1. So I write the remainder down there, and I take the whole number to the next place value. So I have 2 plus 1, 3. 3 lies between 0 and 7, so I can easily write that directly. So I'm left with 31,745 in base 8. So when you multiply these two numbers, this will be the resulting number. And as you can see, none of the numbers here exceeds 7. So it goes in line with base 8. So that's all about multiplication when dealing with other base. How about division? How do we deal with division? Luckily for us, in the JAMB syllabus or in the JAMB past questions, there is no division that has to do with bases other than base 10. So you are not going to be asked to divide numbers in base 2 or base 7 or base 5. All division questions are basically in base 10. And so what I mean by that is what you are going to see is probably 73739, which is in base 10, divided by 87. So we are trying to figure that out. So you are not going to see division in other base. So for the purpose of this video, we are not going to focus on that, because our goal is to equip you so that you'll be able to tackle most of the JAMB questions you see. And since you're not going to be coming across divisions in other base, we're not going to talk about that. So in the next topic, we're going to be covering how to convert from one base to another. So for now, just try to get your hands on several questions and try to solve them. Take care.